EMS fulfillment 756.
Engine 355, start control.
Fire control for engine 355.
Engine 355 on
355.
What's going on, Troy? What's going on? Where are you at? You could be in here shoveling. Need someone riding shotgun. They were calling for 12 to 16. I think we got about 7 or 8 right now. And I'm probably going to be getting another 3 or 4 inches before the day's over. I've been out since 4 a.m. plowing. And I've already hit a couple of counts. We finally started to get some daylight, so I figured I'd put the camera on. Still got a lot of accounts to do. We'll probably be plowing for most of the day. Who we got in here? Say hello. Let me see who you are. Got about 8 or 9 inches of snow on the ground here. We're in upstate New York, Lake George area. Look at these snow piles. So we still got plenty of storm left coming. Right now we're just doing some quick pushes through here, keeping it open. You're not going to leave it too neat right now. If most of the properties, most of the commercial properties that I plow for are seasonal, they're closed down for the winter. There are some tenants on site. Mainly my job is to keep it open for emergencies if there was needed to be fire access or EMS to come into some of the tenants. So it doesn't have to be pretty right now, it just needs to be accessible in case there was an emergency. You'll hear some audio probably going on. It's the local fire and EMS scanner. Every once in a while you'll hear Dan. Keep that garbage out of here, man. You can't be telling me that when I got 10 inches of snow on the ground, brother. I'm missing those roof washes. Missing those roof washes. Sitting here all cold. You're probably getting ready to go sweat. I like the change of seasons. I got ADD. I can't do the same thing all the time. I soft wash and soft wash and soft wash until I'm bored of soft washing, and then I go plow until I'm bored of plowing. Then it'll be spring again. But I like to keep the fire and EMS audio going. Almost every single storm that we have that produces a decent snowfall like this, Manny, we get there's always an EMS call, a heart attack, someone falls and hits their head, something like that, and the ambulance can't get to them. So when I'm out plowing, I always keep the local scanner on, and if there's something near me that's inaccessible, whether it's a client of mine or not, I always go and push the snow so first responders can get in. So if you hear that in the background. Yeah, nice, yeah. I know. You had a good year, it sounds like, with the Christmas lights. I get scared enough in the summer. Look at all this snow. Man, I'm gonna get in trouble pushing it right here by the road. I get scared in the summer, all that ladder work. Keeps me away from it in the winter. Trying not to do more than I have to. This is probably my 6th time out plowing this year, but it's been for like nuisance snows and stuff like that. This is the first real snowfall that we've had. This is the first real snow pushing that we've done this year. I think we had like 4 or 5 inches maybe on the first storm, and then we just had a bunch of nuisance snows, 1/2 inch, 1/4 of an inch, 1 inch, but nothing crazy. Like I said, we're not going to worry about keeping this too neat. We'll come back in later once the snow is done. Stand by. Let's see here. Who's messaging me? Who's texting me? My sister. You should. Sister's texting me, asking how the roads are. All right. What else we got? That's why you need. Yeah. Okay. What a mess, what a mess. There's always 100 things going on when you're plowing. You got your blade out to the left, your blade out to the right, you got cars and chairs and planters and dumpsters and everything else. Always want to make sure you're not smashing into something, and yes, I have smashed into things. Sure have. Okay. All right, we got to get some of this snow that I moved off this property out of the road here before the DOT comes by and yells at me. Woo! There it is. One thing I really like to do for my clients and my accounts is take as much snow off of their property as I can. So I push a lot of stuff to the road, let the state and the town and everyone take care of it, push it around with them when they scoop the berms and stuff like that. Can't get all the snow off the property. You gotta find a place for it, but try to bring it down here as much as possible. And we'll just run it up the curb a little bit, and then they'll come by and they'll sweep the shoulders. All right, I got to turn around here. Plowing at night's no fun. But one thing that is nice about plowing at night is that you can see other cars, you can see headlights coming around turns and stuff like that. This is another seasonal property. We're not going to make it too pretty in here right now. We'll come back later once the storm is over. Just got to keep it accessible throughout the storm, and then once the last flake kind of falls, maybe even tomorrow when there's nothing going on, we come back here and neaten it up, do the walkways and stuff like that. Come through and just get some of the stuff out of here. Now, this was a pretty big storm. Wasn't necessarily too bad here, but it came basically up from Alabama and North Carolina and all that came right up the coast. And I know like Virginia, I think the northern Carolinas, they're all getting slammed with heavy snow and I believe a lot of ice. We got this nice, light, fluffy, really, really cold snow. It's 29 degrees out, but when I first started plowing this morning at 4 a.m., it was about 17 degrees. So it's warming up a little bit now, but the southern areas that got this cold front coming through and all this moisture, they had just enough to make snow, and then it hit some of those warm southern states, and they started to get ice, and that's no fun. Start getting a little, even if it's just a quarter of an inch of ice on your power lines and your tree limbs, it's going to add hundreds of pounds. Luckily we don't have that here. Alright, we'll neaten this row up here a little bit, and then we're going to shoot back down, and we'll leave the rest of this for later. I currently plow for about 27 accounts. So a mix of commercial and residential. I want to do one more push in right here. Got into the grass a little bit there. So we had Manny from Montreal. He was getting some snow. Someone from California. Who else is getting snow this morning? I like to wait until at least 2 plow trucks pass my house. My first year when I started plowing, first snowstorm we got was a nor'easter. We dropped like 3 feet of snow. And I was all eager to go and wanted to get stuff done. You get out on unplowed roads, and there's just nothing you can do. Truck's just fighting to go, and look at this guy's snow blowing, and he just fucking buried him in. It's nice to have the open roads. lot easier to get around. There's no sense in going out and plowing people's driveways if the roads aren't done, but we got really good town and DOT and stuff around here, and as you can see, they've been keeping up with it pretty good. The lane that I was driving in for a second there was clearly not plowed for a while, but it had been plowed. It had been plowed before. My first year plowing, I took accounts as they came, and I was, by the time, I just didn't know how many I was going to get, and I wanted to make sure that I was, you know, making revenue and stuff like that, so I was just taking them wherever they were. I ended up, by the time the season was over, getting way more than I thought I was going to get, and I was spread across 4 towns, which is not what you want to do. So time has gone on, and now we're only spread across 2 towns. For those of you who have been watching, I know people are kind of going in and out. It's an early live stream, probably kind of boring. But for those of you that have been in here from the beginning, you can see that all this stuff is pretty close, it's pretty tight. Everything's within, you know, a half a mile of each other, and it's just bang bang boom, and that's how you make money doing snow removal. I was all over the place first year, and it's just no fun. It's not fun for you, it's not fun for the truck. So now we're just, you know, we leave one driveway and we pull into another one. We leave one driveway and pull into another one. And that's like I had in the beginning. It, you know, you don't really have the luxury of that. You just kind of take them as they come. And then I picked up some driveways that really had no business putting a truck into. But I was naive in the beginning, and you know, everything looks plowable. Everything looks easy to do in the summer when you're quoting, or in the fall when you're quoting and there's no snowbanks and everything's fine. Like even this account, this is a really nice old lady, so I don't want to drop her. But as you can see, it's tough to make these angles with the truck. So I've had some that were worse than that, and this is in my town, which is another reason I'm not going to drop it. But I had a couple other accounts like this in other towns, and they got some wacky angles and stuff, and it's just a headache. You need a guy with a smaller truck, or, you know, not everyone out there is plowing with a truck and an 8-foot blade. Some guys just have snow blowers, and some accounts are really just meant to be snow blown. So you live and you learn, and I politely dropped those accounts. And you know, it's nice to provide a service for people, but you don't want to be killing yourself doing it. You really got to find the accounts that work well for you. There's always going to be someone else out there that wants to plow. So that one right there, like that, I got a walkway that I got to plow there, or I'm sorry, I got a walkway that I got to shovel there. But we'll come back when the snow's falling, get everyone's laneways cleaned out, and then we can come back and push snow. This place up right to the right here, that tan house, I plowed that last year. All of my accounts are prepaid. I offer a discount for my services, but I want to be paid by every single account before the first flake falls, almost as if I'm on retainer, like an attorney. The discounted rate, basically, you know, it makes it a little easier for the customers to pay you up front. I don't have to worry about bills and billing and chasing down dollars over the winter. And for that convenience, you know, I forfeit a little bit extra. I don't storm charge or nothing like that. But that account up on the hill, he really wanted to be, he wanted to pay in 2 installments. I said, you know, I usually don't do that. But I made an exception for him, and as usual, exceptions burn you. I lost track of him. He didn't live there. He lived in California or something like that, and he was basically leasing out his house or giving out his house for free for a lady that was having some economic hardships, and he wanted to help her out. So I said, all right, it sounds like a nice guy. We'll break it up into a couple installments. And after the first one, I never heard from him. I couldn't get in contact with him, and to this day, half of my season is unpaid for. So of course I'm not plowing for him this year. I was kind of hoping that he was going to reach out to me and ask me to plow, and I would have plowed for him again, but I was going to make sure I got paid what I was owed. and then fully paid up front for this season, but he never got back to me, so I got burned a little bit there. That's one of the reasons that I choose to discount my services a little bit and request a upfront payment, because right now I have 27 accounts. If I go out and I plow this storm, I'm going to be out here for about 12 hours before I'm done, and then I got to go home and I got to bill 27 accounts. And then people are busy, people are working, people are traveling. Paying me is not their first priority. So then a week goes by and I'm still trying to track down money, and then another storm comes in, and I'm trying to bill for 2 storms, and it's just, it can work. You're going to make a lot more money billing per storm and per push, but I'm not interested in that headache. So, not interested in that headache. This right here is another commercial account of mine. This is a really nice one because, like all the other ones, it's closed this time of year. The plowing that I'm doing right now is actually more than I need to. I just need to make a lane in and out, and then over there behind that door, which we're going to do. But I prefer to just keep it clean, and I'll do a little extra here. Usually in the smaller storms, I'll just come through and just do a loop. Like I was saying earlier, you want the fire trucks and EMS and police to get in here if they need to. But that's really it. There's no commerce going on here. There's no dining. It's a restaurant. Got to open up this back end here because they do come in their off season, and they probably do some renovations, and they want to be able to get ready for their next season. So you got to clean the back out a little bit, but over my left tail light there, well, I guess in front of, just on the other side of those trees, not my tail light, my headlight, is Lake George. And it's actually freezing this year. We've had some pretty warm winters in recent years. Normally there is a winter carnival from I want to say February and March. And usually the winter carnival is out on the ice, out on the lake. They do races and they land helicopters, and you can go see ice diving demonstrations, all kinds of stuff. But in recent years, they've been having the winter carnival just up in the town and in the park and stuff because the ice hasn't been freezing. But we have had above record, what am I trying to say here? Below record temps. We've had a lot of negatives, a lot of freezing nights, a lot of freezing days, and that's really dropping that water temperature quickly. And it looks like we're gonna have some ice out there right now. It's gonna be thin because the ice wasn't there the other day. But it looks like we're gonna have a frozen lake this year, early. You can see it's all white out there. That means there's snow sitting on the ice, but it's thin. Now, days like this are long days because there's a lot of snow, and some people might say, well, why not wait till the snow is over and then go out instead of pushing it all day long? Well, you can see the storm's not over yet, and it can be a little tricky moving this much snow. So it's nice to get out there and cut it in half. I went out at 4 a.m. I got a couple accounts that have really big hills. I got a 1,500-foot mountain road that goes to an Airbnb. Some of you guys have probably seen in some of my other plowing videos. And you don't want to be going up that hill with 16 inches of snow or whatever it might be. So I went out. That was the first place I went this morning. I waited until about 5 inches fell. We're looking to get 10 to 12. So I basically took half of the storm off the hill, and that'll be good. That'll be fine. Kind of really wanted to record that one because that's probably one of the coolest accounts that I have, but it was dark and it was early, but I will be going back. I don't know how long I'll be doing this live stream for. Maybe all day. I think you can do like 11 hours. I'll do it until I get data warning saying that I'm out of data. But no, I will. I'll be back at that account later at some point, and whether it's on the live stream or not, I'll probably record it. And that's a really cool one to see get plowed. I don't like to put too much snow up by buildings, but it'll be good for now. It'll be all right. $31 degrees out now. It's up about 10 degrees from this morning. Uh-oh, there we go. Now we're on some slick. Stuck. It's nice to plow down because snow melts and runs, right? So you don't want it high and then running all across and creating ice. So it's nice to push it down as low as you can on the property, but as you could see just a second ago there, I was having trouble getting back up, and that's one of the risks. You want to try to be a little smart with that stuff, and I probably should have not been testing my luck. Start pushing it this way now. All the plow trucks are out. Everyone's out making a buck. That truck that just went by, that's the setup I want in the future. Thinking about putting a flatbed on this truck, or was looking at possibly getting a used F350 or something like that. And then I'd like a big bed salter, and that was a nice little setup that went by there. Alright, we're just about done on this one. We're going to just tidy this up real quick. A couple spots here, and that's good enough for now. So there's actually way more snow removal on this account than I need, but you just don't want to. I don't like leaving this stuff here, man. Don't underestimate the power of the back drag. Alright. Just get this out of the way and that'll be enough for right now. plenty more accounts to go to. Snow seems to be letting up, but we're supposed to get another 3 or 4 inches today. This next one we're going to pull into is a little tricky. Can be. Usually I have a tough time stopping coming down the hill on my way out. So we'll see. We're going to go up in there and see if we can stay out of trouble. It's right on this main road. Right here. Just gotta hammer it going up. Woo! You see those 2 metal brackets there on that center post? I did that last year. This was a new account last year, and it's nice to back in there and get a little bit more room so I can push down. I only really like to push up that one time because I got speed coming from the road and everything. And last year I was kind of learning the account and tuck back in there just enough to crack that post slightly. Oops. Well, we got it taken care of. It wasn't much damage. We just don't ever really want to be causing any damage. Luckily, we don't have too many issues with that kind of stuff. Just want to go slow and be careful. Always be paying attention. And even when you are paying attention, things can still get hit. Just a lot going on. I didn't get a good scrape coming up the hill here, so it's going to be greasy going down. Earlier in the season, I slid right out onto the road, and luckily there was no traffic coming when I did so. So I usually sit at the top of the hill and I wait to make sure that DOT ain't coming through, because they'll sweep me right down the road. Isn't one of my favorite accounts for that reason, but it's not a bad account. This is one that I took right in the beginning, and it kind of, if it wasn't right in my town, if it wasn't right along my route, I'd probably drop it, just because, you know, it's a pain. It can be dangerous. So let's see, let's slam the brakes. Well, it's not too bad. We got pretty good traction here. No cars coming. This isn't the bad spot right here, though. It's the next push to the left. I'm protected there. See how our tires are doing today. Well, some days we get lucky and we can back up it. Today we can't. That was good timing. Here comes DOT. That's what I was saying. You don't want to find yourself sliding down that hill in front of these boys. There you go. Cover it right up. Cover it right up. Okay, I think what do we need to do here? Skim this edge. No cars coming. We're going to do some sliding here. Ah, not bad, not bad. Now this account right here is one of the easiest, smallest accounts that I have. It's kind of a big pain in the arse because there's not really a lot of room to work. I end up doing a little bit of shoveling here at the end of the storm. I'm technically supposed to snow blow this account, but I bought a Toro snow blower from Lowe's beginning of the season, and that lasted about 45 seconds. On the first time I started it, there was oil coming out the exhaust, so I took it back to Lowe's to get repaired because I usually don't get the repair package, but on that I felt like I should. I'm glad I did because it was broken when I got it. All right, let me just turn around here and we'll hit that from a different angle, and then we'll come back and clean that up later on. Now this is an account on my route in my town, and I probably will drop this one. I did this one last year as well. They couldn't find anyone else, and I didn't really have a real reason to drop this account, so I picked it up again this year, but it's not a great account to have. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's a pain in the ass. Arse. The arse. Off to the left side of the wing there, that plow marker is a fuel inlet. So I got to come back. Like, I'll have to shovel out that berm. Normally, like I said, I'd hit it with a snowblower, but the snowblower's not here, so I'll have to shovel all that later. That won't be fun. So it's a tough account because there's nowhere to put anything. I like to make sure all the entryways to my accounts are nice and clean. You want to have, you don't want to just plow straight in and plow straight out. Hold on a second here. Let's see. Tell her to tune into your channel. Who's that, Dan? And Manny, how was your insurance premium? Uh-oh, went away. Went away. How is your insurance premium affected when you added snow removal to the business? I have, it's a completely different policy. So I have a general liability policy for the soft wash part of my business, the pressure washing. That's general liability. For the snow plowing, I have commercial auto insurance, which has a I'm not an insurance guy, so I'm trying to word it the most correct ways possible, but it has an add-on coverage for plow. It's very similar to general liability. It's covering me just for the basic damage. You hit someone's lamppost or the corner of you're going to be covered for that kind of stuff. So a premium didn't actually go up, I would say. It was a brand new policy at the same time. You know what I mean? This truck was a personal truck before I started my business. I switched it over to the business, got commercial insurance for it, and added that little plow add-on all at once. So it wasn't necessarily a premium increase. It was just a brand new. So I can't really speak to a cost difference. If you guys are doing anything with your vehicle business related and you are carrying equipment in it at all, whatever it may be, even if it's just vacuum cleaners for a cleaning company, if you get in a car accident, whether it's your fault or not, and that equipment gets damaged and you do not have a commercial policy, it will not be covered. So the reason for a while I did not have a commercial policy when I started my wash business, and later found out that if I had gotten an accident and let's just say my truck rolled and my wash skid came flying out of my truck, or got dented, or a tree fell on it, whatever it may be, with personal auto insurance, they're not going to cover the repair of that equipment because you're using it in a commercial way without commercial insurance, and that's how they're going to look at it. So just FYI, if you're just using your truck, started a business, and you're doing commercial work without a commercial policy, you might want to consider. It's not all that much more expensive, and your business should be taken care of, paying for that premium anyway. You shouldn't be going in the red paying for insurance. It should be taken care of by your revenue. So worst thing you can do is not get it, not have it. I roll my window down. Getting hot doing all this sitting here. What I'll do with this property is we won't be able to get all the snow off of this property, but we're going to be able to get most of it off the property. And over the top right of that golf cart course is the dead end road where the town places all their snow. And we're just going to be real nice, and we're just going to give them our snow. And we know that they like a lot of that snow down there. Town never has enough snow piles, so whenever I can add to their snow piles, I know they greatly appreciate it. So we're going to get all the snow off of this guy's property and put it on theirs. I'm going to send it right out the door to him. Now, properties like this they're just kind of a pain. You almost have to plow everything like a couple times, because there's no good angles. Like you got to back drag, so I'm going to back drag a lot of this away from the building. I'm going to try to get as much out, but you back drag in one angle, and then you clean that area up, and then you back drag from another angle, and then you dirty it, and then you plow and you clean it up, and you back drag from another area and you dirty it. It just kind of is what it is, but a pain nonetheless. We're gonna pile up our donation to the town. You know, some people say I'm a real nice guy. I seem to think so. Give them all this snow for free. Push it right out there to them. We'll leave it right there for now. We'll get it nice and big. I'll push it right down to the end of the road. Look at all this snow. This isn't even really that big of a storm. So this is, I mean, once you start piling it up, it's like, holy cow. But, this is, I'd say right now about 8 inches. And you start pushing 8 inches on top of 8 inches on top of 8 inches. It, blows up quick. So we'll push some of this stuff up here. We're not going to give it all to the town. If you guys are weather nerds, you should check out this guy named Ryan Hall Y'all on YouTube. And I was following him, and he was following this storm all week. And it was kind of nice. It's a little more entertaining, and it's a little more refreshing to kind of watch weather like that instead of like right when it's right on top of you. You know, you go to the Weather Channel, and they're gonna tell you when that storm's coming in, and you know they're gonna give you a day or two warning. I watched this storm come off of the Pacific Ocean in by Washington, kind of came down through Arizona. Went down to the Gulf of Mexico and met some warm air, and then that's where it really turned into a nice storm. And then watched it come up the coast. This is all over the last week or so. It came up the coast, and yesterday it started wreaking havoc between Virginia and north. And last night they were all getting ice and snow, and it came up here and got real cold again, and all that ice and wintry mix turned into nice cold fluffy snow for us. So if you guys are weather nerds and you like that kind of stuff, it's a pretty neat channel. It's basically weather for the whole country. Kind of touches on everything, but you kind of get to see the storm in motion, which is it's kind of cool. And obviously I was geeking out on it, so I had a lot of fun watching it. Ryan Y'all, or what is it? Ryan Hall Y'all. Now this is a new account this year for me, and every time I come in here I plow it differently. I haven't really found the way I like it yet. Every time, that's kind of the big pain about getting new accounts. It's obviously great to get new business in, but you know, you gotta learn the property and the best ways to move the snow. And luckily for me, this account is like most of the other ones, they're seasonal and they're closed off and stuff like that for the winter. Because if they weren't, you'd have to probably be doing something a little bit better with this snow. Right now I can get away with just kind of piling it up and leaving it here, and it doesn't have to be all that neat. But if this was, let's say a school or you know, Walgreens, or you know, you're plowing a commercial property with, you know, it's a lot of room here, so you get a lot of snow. Look, all these snow piles already. I've only been here for 5 minutes, and you know, you start getting properties like that, you might want to have a skid steer or something with a bucket on it, and actually get the snow up and out of the way. We got some shoveling to do here as well. I'm backing into where a walkway is. We'll have to come by and do that later. Let's get all the big stuff done, all the pushing done first. Now, when I sign up an account, whether it's residential or commercial, I always ask them where they want the snow. I don't usually try to decide that stuff on my own, mainly because if you put it where they want it and then it becomes an issue, then you're safe, you're okay. If you just get the account and say, nope, I will take care of it, I'll put it where I see fit, and then it becomes a problem, they're going to say, well, why did you put it there? So where the snow is going now is where they want it. This is my first year plowing this account. It's obviously been plowed for years and years, and I guess it's worked out well for them having it like this. Can't quite see why it wouldn't. All right, we're just about done with this account, and then we're going to swing over. We got some residentials in the next neighborhood. We've got a couple Airbnbs. I believe that I think we're done with our commercial stuff. No, I got one more quick little stop to make, that hotel on the corner up here. That's just a quick push, so the owner can get into the office when he needs to. Won't take long. See what I mean? I mean, if I basically plowed it in every direction multiple times since I've gotten here. Up the hill, down the hill, over there. It's a little bit of a pain. Not a big pain, but it's a little bit of a pain. Now, I think this unit right here, unit 10, that I just put the plow down in front of, I think that they rent these ones out. It's been a while since I had the initial conversation with these guys. I signed this account up with most of my accounts in before November. And I think that they specifically wanted those open, accessible. I think it has something to do. I think they rent out that little section there. All right, we're just about getting ready to pull out of here. Oh, I almost forgot. We're not quite done yet. We got to give the town their snow. Almost forgot to give the town their snow. Here you go, town. Here it comes. That's all for you. Look at that. There you go. Eat up. And no, I'm not going to leave it right in the road. We'll push it right to the dead end here. That was wonky. I was going to back out here, but I didn't want to after all. There's a lot of snow. Holy cow. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. And now the town, they can come and stack that. I'll just try to clean this up a little bit for them, not leave too big of a mess. Hello, buddy. Okay, let's go on to a couple residentials. Oh wait, I forgot about that other commercial real quick. Hold on. What's up to? Where's he going? Come out. Okay. That looks cold. All right, we got to finish up this quick little push here. This is our last commercial property for the day. Well, I shouldn't say that. We'll be back to all of these. We'll come and neaten them up, but this will be the last one, and then we're going to move on to some residential. It's a pretty big lot here. The hotel's closed for the season. I just got to keep this little loop open so they can get into the office. So we'll go ahead and clean this up, open this up a little bit. Snow everywhere. It's tough having properties right on the highway because you gotta wait for traffic to go by. It also sucks. Look at all that snow sitting right there that the town put there. Or that's actually, this is state roads, so the state DOT, I'm gonna have to move all that, which is that's gonna be a little bit of a chore, huh? No vacancy. Keep moving. Whose idea was to put this stupid sign in the middle of this road? This driveway. For anyone just tuning in, it's about 8 inches, maybe 10 inches now of snow. Nice and fluffy and dry. Oh, found something. Found it. Got it. All right, look at all this right here at the road. jump out here on the highway quick. Let's see if we can scoop some of this right up here. Come on now, Bessie. Come on now, Bessie. Yeah, Bessie. Come on now. There we go. Uh-oh. Threw it right in the road. Now, it's nice to clean up DOT's mess every once in a while, but you don't want to make a new one. And a new one is what I am making. Look at all this snow. What a mess. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. They're coming again. They're going to box me in again with all that snow. Good timing. So I had that road all messed up. All right, let's do this all over again. Lunchbox, what's up? I do yearly. I do yearly. I have a little bit of a discounted rate per storm, but I want to be paid before the first snow falls. So I'm usually paid before November, definitely paid before December. I might leave a little bit of money on the table doing it that way, but I save a lot of time. I mean, I have 27 accounts. I don't have to bill. Sometimes you go out and you do a snow event, and then before you can even wash your truck and get the plow off, or you got more snow forecasted. So I'm not, I don't want to be spending all my time billing and running around chasing money. People got better things to do sometimes than to pay you. So, you might have to wait a few days. Someone's going to have a problem. They're not going to want to pay you right away. So whatever it may be, I discount a little bit so I don't have to mess with all that nonsense. I just get paid and then I go and do what I'm paid to do. And some years, I might lose out a little bit. Like if we were to get storms like this all season long and I'm not storm surging or I'm not charging per storm, then I could lose my shirt a little bit. Not big time, but I guess I shouldn't say lose my shirt, because another one, because it costs me like $40 to go out and plow. I've got a pretty local route. I'm not losing a lot of money going out to plow, so it doesn't really make a difference to me if there's 6 inches of snow or 10 inches of snow or 12 inches of snow. I know some guys, they want to be paid for every flake that comes down, but I've also taken a couple of their accounts. So, it's nice to get paid, but you don't want to be greedy. People need to get in and out of their driveways. You got to push the snow. I don't really lose too much sleep over not plowing and storm surging for an extra $10 or something like that in account. Does it add up? Absolutely. But my bills are paid. I'm fed. I'm okay. Now the guys that are storm surging, they are going to be making a little bit more money than me this storm, because they're probably going to be charging for the extra, if we go over a foot, I believe, or I don't know what guys do, but maybe it's over 10 inches or something like that. Like they'll add on another couple bucks, but they have to bill. And where they're making a little bit more money not having the annual contracts, I'm having a little bit more free time of not tracking down the money, trying to get paid. This guy doesn't want to pay because his dog's sick and the car won't start and lost his job, and all these things happen, right? So it's more important for me to not have to bill and just do my thing than to try to scrounge out every penny from these people. I get a lot of referrals, and half of my route is built off of referrals, and you get that by not being the most expensive guy in town. You get that by being reasonable. Things do take longer. I mean, this account all season long, well, so far we've only had nuisance snowfalls, a couple inches here and there. You come right in here and do a couple swipes. Now that we do have a lot of snow, yeah, that's what it is. This is security. You can forfeit a couple bucks to know that you're paid, right? This stuff does take a little bit longer now than just pushing a little bit of snow, but I mean, I've been here for maybe 5 extra minutes than I would have been if the highway department didn't put all this snow here. You know, it's not like I'm sitting here in this account for an extra hour because there's more snow. So I just don't see the point. I just don't see the point of like nickel and diming people for a couple extra inches of snow when I had to show up here anyway. It's not ruining my day having to do a couple extra passes. But that's going to be it for now, I'd say. All right, now that was the last commercial one for now. We got a fair amount of residentials to do. We've already got some of the residentials taken care of. I started the stream before it got light out. Do some fishtails here behind the school. Set a good example for the kids. All right. Ooh, that poor boy up there shoveling. I'm gonna have to do that later. So our next 3 stops are Bing Bang Boom, all within quarter of a mile of each other. They are all residential. They're all Airbnbs. I'm hoping that no one is staying in them because it makes my job easier. There's no cars in the driveway, but we're not going to be that lucky. What we're going to do is we're going to go in and just make a couple quick passes, open it up so people can get in and out, and we'll come back later and shovel and everything else. No one's in the driveway. That's a first. Every little snowstorm so far has had someone in the driveway. If you're doing what I'm doing and pulling up to a garage door to backtracking is really nice. Get the snow away from the building and off the property and stuff like that. A lesson to learn, and a lesson to learn very quickly, is to never drop your plow before putting the car in reverse. Because if you go out in the middle of the night and you're half asleep and you drop that plow and you forget to put it in reverse, you're very quickly going to be seeing what they store in their garage. So when you pull up the back drag, don't drop your blade until you put the truck in reverse. Oh, I'm not looking forward to shoveling. Go through and get all this stuff moved first, let the snow stop, and then we'll go around and clean everything up nice and neat. Not all my accounts require shoveling, but enough of them do. And last year I said, I'm not shoveling. I'm not shoveling for anyone. I'm done with that shoveling nonsense. But it's very hard. Most people want stuff shoveled. It's very hard to take an account and say, well, I'm not going to shovel because I'm a prima donna. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta get out and shovel. Now, little properties like this are a pain. There's never really anywhere good to put snow. We We haven't had much snow this year, so that's why you don't see snow piled up. Everything that's came has kind of melted away. But you start putting snow right here, and you lose your spots pretty quickly. So we're gonna put snow here. And now, if you were to look at our forecast, there's not much snow coming for the next couple of weeks. That could change. We got some sunny days, cold weather, and hopefully some of this will melt away. But if it doesn't and another storm comes in, well, you're not going to be able to get too many of these storms piled up. No, I think that's the curb. You're not going to be able to get too many of these storms piled up here. So in the beginning of the season, when we just had some nuisance snows and stuff like that, I was taking it down the curb and dumping it at the intersection so the highway department can come through and get it with the loader. But, you know, I try to be reasonable, and they've got their own projects to do today. So, what's up, Troy? You don't want to push, I don't want to put too much snow there on them. So you always got to be thinking 10 storms ahead when it comes to plowing, because if you get a really good season, you're going to run out of all of your places to put snow before the third storm comes in. So you always want to like save your snow storage spots until you really need it. So like on all the nuisance snows and like the 4 or 5 inches that we got, I pulled it out in the street, and now you see the piles that we're making now. It's hard to pull that out. So luckily we haven't had any other piles there, and we can push it out of the way a little bit. Farmer's Almanac is kind of interesting. It's sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. I've only been looking at it for a couple years. Last year it was spot on. Everyone always gets mad at me because I roll stop signs. I'm just gonna say that. You guys can only see what's right in front of me. When I pull up to an intersection, I don't roll a stop sign if there's a car in sight. If I roll a stop sign, it's just easier for the truck and the traction and everything else to not come to a complete stop when there's literally no reason to. So I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not just blowing these recklessly. There's absolutely no vehicles in the way. But the Farmer's Almanac was pretty spot on last year. And this year they're calling for below average snow, which we're into. Today's January 17th. And this is our first real snowstorm. So I'd say we had 3 feet last year before Christmas. So I'd say that so far it's on spot. And not only is it a below average snowfall season that they're predicting, it's record cold temperatures, which we have absolutely been seeing. We've had very many negative nights. The last couple of days have been in the negatives. We've had a lot of below freezing, 0-degree temps, all kinds of stuff. So the Farmer's Almanac seems to be worth its weight in gold this year so far. We're early, but it seems to be right on track. Now, I don't have, you can get a back drag cutting blade for the back of these plows. I do not have that. But the regular cutting edge working backwards, it seems to do okay. Now, this is a walkway that I will have to come back and shovel. Move all this snow over here for the town to put back in my way. Now, there's just nowhere good to put snow. Some properties you could put the whole town's snow on it, and some of these properties, the only thing that you can do is pull it out to the road and try to tuck it somewhere. It's exactly what this guy up here is doing. And you almost just have to like solve a problem and then at the same time create a problem for someone else. It just is what it is. The problem that you're creating it for is the highway department. They're more than equipped to handle the snow, so I don't feel too bad. But me and this guy here, we're just trying to tuck it and leave it. I gotta see what he's doing because I gotta go that way. I'll try to blade to the left here and just lose it as we go without screwing things up too much for this guy. Looks pretty good. In my mirror, it looks good. It's really nice if you can stack your route to where everything is close like that. You're just in and out, in and out. Make storms like this easy, because I'm going to have to go back to every single account that I've already been to. I'm going to have to go back to them again. Neaten them up. Just go fly right through it. And where's Raymond? What's up, Eric? How's Rochester? You getting hit too? Where's Raymond? Raymond, what state? Ah, see, here's an Airbnb that has cars in it. You sons of a... I can't even get... And they're right in the middle. Come on, you got to park right in the middle. I can't even get in here and plow one side of this. Unbelievable. New Hampshire. How are you getting paid? Shit. Hold on. How are you getting paid for... How are you getting paid for these jobs? How does it work? Oh, you just gotta walk in the door, man, after you plow and swing a baseball bat at some knees. They'll pay. No, I'm just kidding. You, all summer long, in fall, I'm always kind of hustling to try to get a new plow account. Once you find someone that wants your services, man, I cannot believe that they're right in the middle of this driveway. Unbelievable. Once you get an account that wants to hire you, it comes down to figuring out how you want to get paid. Some guys want to be paid per storm, and they will bill. I gotta watch out for this guy. And they will bill after every storm, after every push. What I choose to do is have a pre-season rate. And I ask all my customers to pay me before the season starts. So I have a season rate, and I give a discounted service for plowing. I'm a little cheaper than the other guys around town that are billing all the time. A lot of customers seem to like that. But for that discounted rate, I want to be paid before it snows. I want to make sure that I don't have to worry about billing and all that stuff. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. That's how I do it. It's really up to you. You know, I like to work, but I'm kind of lazy when it comes to the administrative stuff. I don't want to have to bill after every storm. I know I've kind of talked about it a couple times here. I've talked about it a couple of times already here in this video. That you know, I got 27 accounts or something like that. You start sitting down and trying to bill for those after a storm, and like you're going to be doing that and chasing around money and trying to get people to pay you and everything else. You know, all 27 of those accounts aren't going to make it a priority to pay you. You know, they're working or they're out of town for the holidays. They got stuff going on, so I'm going to bill them, but then I might not see that money for a week or so. You know, hopefully it's not any more than that. If another storm comes right back in, back to back, now I might be billing for 2 storms that I haven't been paid for yet. So I don't like that hassle. Some of the guys out there right now that are plowing per storm, and they might be storm surging, they're going to probably be bringing in a little bit more revenue than me. But I've been paid for the whole season since November, and I don't have to do any billing. So for me, that's a win. And that's just all personal preference. You know, you gotta figure out what works best for you and your pockets and your business. I have a property maintenance company. I do pressure washing and soft washing. So if I'm doing any type of work like that in my neck of the woods, I go all over the place. But if I'm actually pressure washing something here right in my neck of the woods, I'll always try to upsell a plow account, see if I can hook them. These last 3 that I just stopped at were all picked up this fall from doing pressure washing. So yeah, dude, we got 8 or so as well. We got 8 or so as well. I think we're just about done. I think we're only going to get another 3 inches or so. Over the last all last evening and even this morning, it's like every half hour I look, the forecast changed. Some days it was, or sometimes when I looked, it was 8 to 12. Then it was 5 to 8, 8 to 12, 5 to 8, 8 to 12, 5 to 8. At one point we were looking at 16, so it's been going all over. So if you get 3 inches or more, you go out and plow. I usually go for 2 inches because I like to have things neat, and I personally wouldn't want, even if you only get 2 inches and then someone goes out and drives on it, you're going to get ice and you're going to get ruts. And then next time I come and plow, I'm going to be, bogging down and spinning my wheels and everything else. I really prefer to just go out for, even if it is only 2 inches, and just clean up the driveway. Like I said, it costs me like $40. Usually it's a tank of gas, right? It's $40 to go out and plow. This is all I do in the winter. The main part of my business is also is seasonal. It's in the summer. So I do that all summer long, and then I do this all winter long. And we typically only get, 12 to 15 storms a year. So you're talking about 15 days, maybe 20 days over the course of the winter, from from fall till spring. So I don't mind going out and dropping the blade for 2 inches. I don't necessarily do that for all 27 of my accounts. I do have, like I mentioned, the Airbnbs. Those are 0 tolerance. So even if we got just a dusting, I'll go out and I'll shovel the walkway and I'll throw some sand or some salt, because if you got people coming out of town and they slip in someone's driveway, I'm not necessarily liable for that. I don't. That doesn't get worked into our agreements that I'm liable for that. But I also don't want to be the guy that says, well, it's not my problem. So the homeowner is insured for that kind of stuff, but the homeowner also really appreciates when you go out and you make sure that their residence is safe for that side of their business. But if we get like an inch or less, I'm not going to go to all 27 of my accounts. I'm going to go to a couple of the hills that I have, because again, I don't want the hills icing over. That doesn't do any justice for me. And I also will go to some of the Airbnbs. But again, that's personal preference. You can run your business however you want. I go out, like I said, and do a couple things regardless of how much snow is out there. I got a guy that lives up the street from me, and he does trucking and excavating, and he's got a plow and a salter on his truck, and I know that he's got his own route, and some of his accounts are my neighbors, and I'll go out and I'll clean up my accounts, and I'll come home after an inch or 2 inches, and for the next week my neighbors have snow in their driveway because he doesn't go out, he doesn't work it into his agreements that he's going to go out for any of that nuisance snow. So he chooses not to, I choose to do so, and it's just personal preference. As you can see, we are raking up some stone here for the beginning. The first couple of snow pushes that we've had, I was coming in here and I was back dragging it. It's a little easier on the snow. We just really started getting cold, and we haven't had a lot of light snow. You really don't want to be dropping your blade on gravel until it really has a time to freeze. But storms like this will push your hand, and I don't have a choice. So, got to get in here and drop the blade a little bit, disturb some of this gravel, and probably come back here in the spring and rake some of it out for them. But those are all things that you want to have that conversation with your account holders beforehand, which I did, and I let them know, listen, this is what happens when you try to plow gravel. So it all got, this property's a new account for me. The people that hired me are new to this property as well. So this is their first year. I'm pretty sure that this driveway was re-stoned this summer. So the stone hadn't really had a chance to settle. So I just let them know that there was going to be some disturbance. The best thing that you can do, it doesn't matter what kind of work you're doing when you're working for yourself, the best thing that you can do is tell your clients everything. Don't wait for them to figure anything out. Don't wait for them to question it. If you already know that something could be a problem, tell them, because there's nothing worse than it being a surprise. You know, simple, and it's always little things. If I didn't tell anyone that, hey, you know, that gravel's kind of soft, you just put that down, I honestly can't plow it without chewing some of it up. You know, if you tell them that, and they understand so, and then now this storm, I'm chewing up some of that gravel, I mean, it's not a surprise to anyone. They're not going to be upset, but if you don't tell them that, there's a little curb there. If you don't tell them that, and then they pull in here and the gravel's all chewed up, they're going to say, hey, man, come on, like, we just put that stone down. So, keep that in mind if you guys are doing anything. It doesn't have to be snow removal. It can be anything. You're doing lawn care, whatever it could be, and you think that you can kind of foresee a problem. You know, you might be new working on that account, but you're not new at the work that you're doing. You know, let people know, hey, I've seen this before. This is going to be a problem. I can take care of it, but it might be a little bit of a problem. You know, you tell people stuff like that, and they will be a little bit more forgiving. People are reasonable, but they don't want to feel like they're being bested. You know, they don't want to feel like you came in and screwed up all their stuff. All right, let me get a pull out here and then pull back in. This is another one of my accounts that is a pain in the butt sometimes. There's not a lot of room to move. I think there's a curb here. I'm not sure. Yep, a little bit. Found it, got it. It's nothing more fun than playing find the curb in your plow truck. I got a video from last year. It was my first plow video. It was my first time plowing a couple of these accounts, and we had 3 feet of snow. And actually, it wasn't even my account. Some guy just flagged me down. I was in his neighborhood, and he says, "Hey man, my $2,000 snowblower won't start." And we had 3 feet of snow. He said, "I'll give you $50 if you can swing in and take a slice at it." So I wanted to be nice and go and do it. There was a curb, and I found it. And like this one here, I found it going slow because I kind of know it was there. That one I didn't know it was there. And woo! She rattled the truck. She rattled it. There she is again. I don't really think that's a curb. It's just a little bit of lip from the sidewalk. It's nice trying to get as much stuff done before the town wakes up, because this is a 4-lane road and I'm just backing right out into it right now, and I can do so because it's not too busy out. But some days when you get like a nuisance snow and you gotta go, like, this is a commercial place, this is a real estate office, this one has to be kept clean. You try to come out and do some nuisance pushes when it's not too bad out and people are still going to the store and people are still going to work and stuff like that. Plowing can get a lot more difficult. You never want to assume that people are watching you. I got lights all over this truck. You can't really see them. I got a couple on the hood here, and I got like 6 of them in the back. I got them on the roof. You want to be visible, because chances are people aren't watching you. Especially, I've got a white truck and a white snowstorm, and always want to assume that no one's watching. All right, most of my plowing, or I'm sorry, most of my shoveling gets done at the end of the storm, but this one is commercial. It is a holiday, I know that. I don't know if anyone's going to be coming to the office, so I do have to shovel this walkway real quick. So I will be right back, less than 1 minute. Ready, set, go. Okay. On to another Airbnb. Never understand why people like to go out. I mean, I guess I do kind of understand, but why people like to go out and walk. Every time I go and plow a snowstorm, people always want to go out and walk, and they want to go out and like walk their dogs and just go for a stroll. And I get it. There's nothing else to do. Usually, you know, people have errands and stuff like that, and they put them off because there's a snowstorm, so go out for a walk. But what people don't realize is that you're walking on a road that has absolutely no shoulder because there's snow on it. You're walking on roads that don't have good traction. I mean, you're just like, it's the perfect scenario to get hit. Any other day of the week, they don't want to walk, but if there's a snowstorm, they go out for a walk and they get right on the road as if no one with big pieces of sharp metal on the front of their trucks are coming by. One of my pet peeves when I go out and plow storms is it never fails. I always pass a bunch of people that want to take up the road walking in the worst conditions. I like this road. It's a cool road. Yeah, no, they are. It's like, well, that's you know, people are just, in my opinion, are a lot of times more trusting than you need to be. We don't, unfortunately, live in a very trusting world. And, you know, one of the things that you see all the time driving on the highway, even if it is good conditions, is if someone's broken down on the side of the road or they just got in an accident, or of course you'll see it today with cars going off the road. People like to sit right where they went off the road, or they want to sit on the shoulder or on the guide rail. It's like, well, if you just went off the road because of bad conditions, the next guy's going to go right up your rear end and is going to send you 100 feet. And I can't stand it when people hang out on the side of a highway. When I have to pull over on a highway, I usually wait until an overpass, and I'll pull like 25 feet off, get way out of the way. Can't go trusting people. People, especially when it comes to driving. Everyone likes to assume that people see them and they're getting over and everyone's watching out for your safety, but very rarely is that the truth. And the only person that you can really depend on to make sure that you stay alive is yourself. Can't trust anyone else. So don't walk in snowstorms and don't sit on the side of the road. No one's keeping an eye out for you. I mean, emergency vehicles get hit all the time. Snowplows get hit all the time. Troopers get hit all the time on the side of the road. If they're gonna hit a trooper in the ass doing 60 miles an hour when his red lights are going, then they're definitely not going to be paying attention to you sitting there in a Honda Civic broke down the side of the road. It's just, the math just doesn't add up to you being safe. Someone asked a minute ago about square footage. No, I don't really plow by square footage. Basically just want to figure out what an average driveway is going for in your area. See, when people get into a new line of work, when they want to start working for themselves, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is thinking that they have to like reinvent the wheel. You don't have to reinvent the pricing. Just find out what the other 2,000 plow guys in your area are charging, and then that's what you're going to charge as well. Maybe you're going to take 50 bucks off. You're a new plow guy. You want to stand out, get some accounts. Take 50 bucks off, and now that's going to be your average. That's going to be your average price, is whatever that average driveway is. And then if you get a driveway that's twice as big, just double it. And if you get one that's 3 times as big, double it. Pricing, regardless of what you're pricing, doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just want to be pricing fair, and you just want to be pricing competitively. So all you got to do is just reach out, get online and just, do some detective work and say, hey, I'm looking to get my driveway plowed, and then get some quotes. And then once you get a handful of quotes from a bunch of guys to plow your driveway, then you know what your driveway is worth. It's as simple as that. You don't need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to pricing. You don't need to do square footage. I'll pull up to a driveway and I'll say I want X amount of money for this. That's it. It just is what it is. And if someone finds someone cheaper, then be my guest. What you really want to do, especially if you're going to do what I do, and that's preseason rates, and I want to get paid up front. One of the things you want to make sure you do is figure out your average snowfall for the area. You can find that information on Google. You can find that information by asking guys. You can look back through recent years' weathers. You can find all kinds of historical data online. Around here, we're good for about 12 to 15 storms a year. So when you start doing your batch pricing, say you want to do $500 a driveway as your minimum, and you want to average 15 storms, then take that $500 and divide it by 15. And if that comes out to, I'm doing it in my head, but it should be somewhere around 30 bucks, 40 bucks a storm. And that's relatively reasonable. Again, I'm a little cheaper. Some guys might be 60 bucks, but they're going to be billing. But if you start taking 30 bucks a storm and you have you know, 15 accounts, 10 accounts, whatever it might be, you know, you're making pretty decent money per storm. And then you can push that out and figure out what you're gonna. Now you got your $500 in an account. Some of them are going to be 500, some are going to be 550, some are going to be 800. You might get a couple really nice ones that are 3,500. You know, some properties are worth the money. You know, people will pay for it if it needs to be cleaned out, if they're big. This one right here, these two that I'm plowing, this is owned by the same guy. This is a pretty pricey driveway. There's a lot to move here. This one is over $1,000. So not per push, but for the season. And then you can start figuring out, okay, well, if I get 10 accounts and I'm charging this, or I get 15 accounts and I'm charging this, then you can start making $10, $15, $20,000 a winter going out and plowing a few accounts. Into the creek. Oh boy. Whew, that's close. The Snowmageddon. If you're gonna plow, the most important thing that you can add to your vehicle is reverse lights. Have them angled out to the side, have them off the top of your truck, the side of your truck. There's nothing worse than not being able to see backing up when you go out at night. You want to be able to see your corners. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty confident saying that almost all, you know, newer model plows have what's called the trip edge on the front of them, which means when you find something like a rock, a curb, something that doesn't want to move very well, the bottom blade of the plow is hinged. And it's on a spring system. So instead of your truck ripping to a halt because you hit something that doesn't want to be hit, like whatever that was right there, you can see it, the whole plow springs up off the ground. That trip blade gets into action and it springs the snow forward, it pops the blade up, and it allows you from getting hung up and damaging your plow, and it'll just your plow will basically just skip. So I don't think older model plows have that. This is a used plow, but it is relatively a newer model, and it does have that trip edge, and you don't want to not have that. It's really nice. It doesn't catch on much. I do a lot of which you guys will see later, whether it's on the live stream or if it's just an actual video, is dirt roads, gravel roads, mountain roads. I plow a construction access site, and it's rough. And if you didn't have the trip edge, you'd be beating the heck out of your truck the whole time. You'd be beating the heck out of your plow. See, all so far with this account, so far this season, I've been able to back drag out of here because, again, it's gravel. It's like pea gravel. It's not even crusher run or item 2. It's like pea gravel, which doesn't stand a chance in front of the blade. It just rips it right out. It's not frozen over. But there's too much snow to do anything other than this right now. And again, you always want to talk to the account holder in the beginning. And I told him I didn't even plow the first few nuisance storms because I didn't want to take all his gravel out of here. But now you don't have a choice. But you gotta tell them that. You gotta tell them that before you go and scrape it. Okay. This is the most snow we've seen this season. So that road up until this point where I started plowing is, it belongs to the town. So they've come in here and cleaned up this little turnaround section, and I'm going to try to leave it the way I found it. I like to push as much snow out here as I can when I'm trying to clean up the end of that road, and then we'll just try to tuck it off to the side. I think we're pretty good here. Neaten that up a little bit. Push that back. All right, we have one more account to do. It's kind of a pain. We're gonna be there in probably the next less than 5 minutes. It's a weird angle, steep uphill. It's usually pretty greasy. We're gonna go in there and give a quick push, and then we will have successfully hit everything on our account at least once. And then we'll maybe take a little break, and then I think we're still looking at, we'll check the weather again. We might be looking at a few more inches, and we'll go back around again, do the whole route again, clean everything up. It's pretty rough right there. If you're not used to plowing, or you want to plow or whatever, one thing to be conscious of is hitting bumps. Hitting bumps and stuff with your truck and your plow on, because the plow weighs like 800 pounds at a minimum in the front, depending on what kind of plow you have, and it's hanging right there. And if you go and hit a speed bump or a dip in the road, whatever it might be, and that plow starts swinging around, you can bend the frame of your plow, and you're basically ready for a new plow at that point. So definitely don't want to be doing that in a storm. That's a really nice way to find yourself with a $6,000 or $7,000 bill that you didn't want, because these plows aren't cheap. You don't want to hit anything too hard with them and make them bop around too much. I actually misspoke. After we do this one, I have two more actually that I haven't hit for the first time yet. So we'll go and do those. And then for those of you that stick around, after that, I'll probably be going right to my mountain road. That's kind of a fun one to plow. It's about 1,500 feet straight up a mountain to an Airbnb. And I usually plow that 2 blades wide. So I'll do a push down a section, back up, widen it, and do that the whole way down. You really get to see how great these tires are when you watch someone plow a hill like that. I run Wild Peak Falcon Wild Peaks, and they're all-terrain tires, but they are with a winter rating. So all-terrain tires are not good for plowing snow. They are all season. Yes, you can ride them in snow, but they're not great in snow. But these all-terrains with the snow rating are basically unbeatable. These also have like 10,000 miles on them, probably 6,000 miles on them. They're brand new last year before the plow season. I put about 6,000 miles on them this summer, at least. With my other business, I do a lot of driving with this truck, and there was still enough tread on them going into this season. I was kind of nervous to see how they were going to bite, seeing as if I had probably gone through 50% of the tread, and they are still biting ridiculously. They're really great tires, but like I said, you really want to have the snow rating, because all-terrain tires by themselves are nothing to write home about when it comes to plowing snow. The other thing that's really overlooked by guys plowing with I got some guy coming right up my butt here. Wait for him. One thing that's overlooked by plow guys is the weight in the back of their truck. The reason four-wheel drive works, there we go. The reason four-wheel drive works is the back end of a truck is light, right? It's a lot of trucks nowadays are aluminum bodies. You got aluminum bed. My truck is a little older. It's a 2016, so that was before they started doing the aluminum bodies. This is a steel body. Bed probably weighs, I don't know, but let's just say 300 pounds, 400 pounds. Too much weight for one guy to move, but 2 guys could pick it up. That doesn't offer a lot of weight sitting down on your back tires, which is why a lot of trucks have four-wheel drive. So when you lock in your four-wheel drive and your front hub's engaged, all that weight of your engine, which I'm assuming has got to be 1,000 pounds, if not better, is sitting down on your front axle, and it gives all the bite in the world to your front end. That's why four-wheel drive is really effective. Your back end is still light. So what I have in the back of my truck is about 800 pounds of sand and salt. It's not in a salter. I'm going to try to upgrade to that next year. It's just in a metal. It's just in a metal box, like a job site box. Okay. That now is putting 800 or 900 pounds on my back wheels. So now my back axle is not, I'm not giving it any room to slip. So even if you aren't plowing and you're driving, whether it's a 1 ton, a 3/4 ton, a 1/2 ton, even just a small little pickup truck, find a way, build a little cribbing out of some 2x4s, and then get some tube sand, a couple 100 pounds of tube sand, and you want that right over your back axle. And that way, when you're not in four-wheel drive, you're going to have better anti-slip. And then if you do need to lock in your four-wheel drive, you're going to have a tremendous amount of traction, because you're going to be pressing those rear tires down on the ground while your engine is pushing down your front tires. So that a lot of times is really overlooked, is weighting down your back axle, whether you're plowing or not. It's one of the best things you can do. You think that your four-wheel drive vehicle has good traction now, wait till you put weight behind it. Like this truck right here is unstoppable pushing snow. It's a big heavy-duty truck to begin with, and then it's just loaded down with weight. And my tires do slip. I'll get myself every once in a while into position that you're gonna slip. It's not impossible, but you get a lot further. Get a lot further by having that weight and that traction. But if you're gonna go out and plow snow, you definitely have to. You definitely have to have weight. There's no alternative. You gotta have it. You go and try to push a pile, or like when I back up that hill that I was talking about, my big mountain road there, I push a section and I back right up, and I push a section and I back right up, and having that weight is really necessary for being able to do that. I don't have to go down to the bottom of the hill and get speed and momentum to get to the top and then plow back down. I just do a section, I put in reverse. And I did that this morning when it had a good amount of snow on it. Did it all last winter. See, it's still snowing. It's going to snow all day. It's about 9:30 here, and I believe the forecast is calling for snow probably until like 3 p.m. today, I think. Not much. We've got the bulk of the snow down right now. Probably 10 inches on the ground right now. I don't think we're looking at more than maybe 3 inches, 2 or 3 inches the rest of the day. It's coming down pretty good here though. For a while it wasn't. It slowed down. Must have been a little break in the must have been a little break in the storm there. There's a culvert right here off to the left-hand side of my truck. I always try very hard not to go into it. All right, let's whip out here. Be dangerous for a minute. Turn around on this road, right on a turn. Try to be quick with it. All right, that's looking pretty good for now. It's accessible. We'll come back later when the snow stops, clean it up a little bit better. You don't want to waste your time trying to make it perfect when you still got snow falling. You just want people to be able to get in and out if they need to. If they have an emergency, you gotta go to work, gotta go babysit the kids, whatever. All right. For the couple of you that are in here right now, I know there's people going in and out. We had a couple minutes of driving here until we get to the next account, so nothing exciting going on here for a few minutes. If you haven't already, please hit like. Please subscribe to the channel. We are doing some snow removal for the rest of the season. Some videos on that. The main work that I do is pressure washing and soft washing in the summer. So if you want to stick around and see some of those videos, make sure you subscribe. Lots of snow. Lots of snow. Messy, messy, messy. I'm assuming if you're watching and you're on the East Coast, you're probably getting snow as well. If you might be, you know, west of Tennessee, I don't know if you guys were getting snow or not, but I know a lot of the East Coast was getting snow. I think southern East Coast, like the Carolinas and I think Delaware, Maryland, I think they were getting ice. I'll take 10 inches of snow over a half an inch of ice any day. I'm assuming they're probably getting power outages and lines down and trees down and everything else. We're 32 degrees out right now. We were about between 10 and 18 degrees when the snow started falling, so it's dry, it's not wet, it's not heavy. It's pretty ideal for this. So it's not too fun. 10 inches of wet snow. So this is nice. This is nice. You know, it's fine. It's fine. I still cannot believe that last Airbnb account, those people parked in the middle, right in the middle of the driveway. Right in the middle. Unbelievable. I was hoping they'd be off to the side like a normal person and then, you know, be able to get in there and at least do half a driveway and then they can move back over. I can come back and do the others. Parked right in the center of the driveway. It's hard to do something. I actually, before we head to the last two residential, I have a commercial construction site that I need to, look at this right here. They're building ice castles. That's going to be a massive ice castle by the time it's all done. They've been getting some nice cold weather to be able to do that lately, which is nice, good for them. We're going to run to that construction site right now. We're about probably 2 minutes away. It's right up the road here. They're doing blasting and drilling and all kinds of stuff. Obviously today's a holiday and obviously we're getting 10 inches of snow. I was kind of hoping that they were going to be taking the day off, but I just saw one of the branded construction site construction trucks going by and I have a feeling that they're working. So we already went in there this morning and we already took off the first 5 or 6 inches. Probably wouldn't hurt to go in there and do another scrape. Just check it out. We'll see if they're in there working. But that's not too far up the road here. We'll be there in 2 minutes or so. That's a pretty big account for me. I picked that up this year. It's kind of hairy. It's a construction site. There's a lot of rough rock and rough ground. A lot of guys didn't want it. I'm dumb enough to take it. So there's a couple sections in there that puts a little bit of hurting on the blade. But as I was mentioning earlier about the trip edge and how it springs forward, it's you got to have that on roads like this, and it'll catch and it'll spring, and then you just keep going on your way. So we'll pull down in there. We'll see if they're doing any blasting and drilling today during the snowstorm, and like I said, hopefully they're not. bad enough to be going in and out of there when there's dump trucks and stuff pulling in and out. Now I got to plow, so it's right up here after this light. We'll be there in just a minute, and we'll drop the blade and we'll do another scrape. Like I said, I'm hoping that they're not working in there today, being a holiday and a snowstorm, but they got a pretty big, I mean, they're working on like a $10 million project, so I don't know if they're going to let the snow get in the way. We'll see. Right off to the right-hand side here is Lake George. It's 33 miles long. It's a very big lake, and they are putting multi-million-dollar houses down by it. In order to do so, they're blasting and drilling and getting a good footing and clearing rock and all kinds of stuff. So they got a pretty big project ahead of them. I think they're putting like 3 houses down in this hole, and you'll see it in just a minute. It is a hole. It's going to be beautiful when they're done. You think snow removal down there is hard this year? Apparently, according to the planning board, they're having, like, at the bottom of these big multi-million-dollar houses and driveways, there's these big courtyards surrounded by block walls. And what are you going to do with the snow? So they're going to eventually, once these developments are done down in here, they're going to need someone with a tractor, a skid loader, a snow blower, whatever it might be. Because once you push all the snow down to the bottom of this road, here it is right here, we're coming up to it. You push all the snow down in there once all those houses are done. It's going to be a problem. Well, the truck's entering and exiting sign is still up against the tree, so they might not be working in here today. But I do see some tracks. We'll scrape this one more time. Doesn't really appear to need it, but we're here. We'll give it a scrape. Now right through here it's going to get rough, and you're probably going to see the plow bounce. That's the trip edge. There it is, bounce. That's the trip edge catching and springing, which is what you want. See it bouncing? It's you really got, if you're gonna do rough roads like this that aren't paved, you gotta have that trip edge. Now that a minute ago I said that the construction, the brand new construction site truck that I had seen, which made me think that they might be in here working. I just saw tracks come in a little bit and then stop and turn around, and they were probably coming to check to see if I was in here plowing. I was already in here this morning and opened this up for them. I wasn't sure, but they pulled about halfway in, probably saw that I had came in here and opened it up, and that was satisfied enough for them. They don't trust me yet. This was a brand new account. This is the first snow. See, I'm not going to go down in here. I don't have to plow down in this hole. I'm not even going to go too far, but you can see there's a foundation being put in over here. And if I turn this corner, well, I'll take the phone out because I'm not going to go any further because I'll lose my traction here. But they're blasting and drilling all the way down this hill. The lake is down here. It's all frozen, icy, and looking, it's all white. But these are going to be big. It doesn't look big right there, but these are multi-million-dollar houses going in here. And this right here, I'm going to back up. You'll see this pile. This is all what they've been excavating out of here. Look at this. They've been blasting and drilling and pulling all this out. And they got some big equipment. I'm not going to go back past all of it, but you got 2 loaders right here. I just got to keep this open for them to come in and out. And luckily, it looks like they're not working today. And be able to keep this nice and clean. Not have to be in the way of the construction equipment. It's a rough road. You got to have that trip edge so your plow bounces. I pulled all the snow from the beginning of the driveway and then where we just came from to here this morning. I didn't want to pile snow back in there. There's limited room. I think that they're going to be happy about that. Normally I ask where they want the snow. This account I didn't. Figured I'd just figure it out as I went. but it seemed that the best idea would be to get it away from the construction site, don't you think? So I plowed into there, and then I plowed from where I was to here. It's just a rough, frozen road. If you had seen it, before the snowfall fell, what I'm driving on, what I'm backing over right now, is pretty big. I would say 3 to 5 inch loose pieces of stone, rock, and luckily it's kind of frozen a little bit. But when you see the plow grab and bounce, that's what it's grabbing, is all that loose rock. And then we'll just blade out. Now this account and accounts like this are rough on the blade. They're rough on the truck. Do not want to be taking these accounts for cheap. This is not a cheap account for them. All right, it doesn't appear like they're working in here today, so that's good. All right, for those of you that are watching, probably got 2 or 3 minutes before we get to the next account. I got 2 more residentials to do on this road, about 2 minutes away, and then we're going to go to my mountain road. I already took about 6 inches off of that this morning, and then we're going to go up there, and we're going to take another couple inches off and not let it pile up. 1,500 feet, basically straight up a mountain, gravel. It's not a driveway that you want to let too much pile up on, so that's going to be one of our next stops. Okay, look at this snow. Snowy, snowy, snowy. Probably don't want to go screaming around that turn, huh? This is a pretty good hill here. This is going to be probably greasy going up. Luckily, it looks like they've scraped it recently. There's probably only half an inch of snow on it right now. It's a couple steep sections coming. We'll have to gas it a little bit. As I was saying earlier, it's nice having good tires. It's nice having a lot of weight. This right here, here's a pretty good little lift up. Let's see if we can get up here. Yeah, baby, come on. Come on now, Bessie. Camera probably ain't showing it, but we're steep right here. This is the steepest part of this hill, this road. Pretty big storm. Probably going to be a foot of snow on the ground by the time it's all over. Might be a foot of snow on the ground now. My puppies have got to be loving this. I wish I was home playing with them. They've seen a little bit of snow, but this is by far the most snow that they've seen. They're probably outside buried in it right now. They like to fight and wrestle and get all covered in it. It is coming down again now. I think after this one, actually, I might shut the stream down for a little bit. I might take a little break. Check the weather. Can't check the weather while my phone's going. It's kind of a tricky one to plow because I'm like right on a turn. Whichever way I back out is basically into traffic, one way or the other. Gotta get out and clean up my windows. I'm struggling to see. My wipers are all messed up, or my mirrors are all messed up. It is still coming down. All right, I'm going to end this here for now. I'll be back later. For those of you who are in and out, checking it out, thank you. Probably be back live in a half hour or so. Peace.